We're gonna do a no load spin test. 60, 70, 76. Flagship scooters don't come around every day. And this new flagship scooter from INMOTION is pretty darn sweet. The RS has really impressed me. We've tested a lot of scooters, and I will say, as a new flagship scooter, this is definitely something that should be on your list if you're looking for a hyper, super fast, powerful, and smooth scooter. What's up guys, Jimmy Chang here with Andrew. Welcome back to Freshly Charged, where we review personal electric vehicles, toys for men, not boys. I'm still trying to figure out a slogan or a little phrase. If you guys have one, let us know in the comment below. But this is something that definitely is for men and women, not boys.
We have the INMOTION RS that goes up to 68 miles per hour, has a 100 amp Raptor controller.
In this video, we are going to unbox it, assemble it, do a walkthrough, and then take it for a test spin. INMOTION always does the best packaging their products. They have really stepped up their packaging game, probably between them and Segway, with some of the best packaged PEVs that I've experienced. So check this out, you guys. This is very nice.
Oh, I don't know what this is.
What the heck?
Did not expect a carousel music box.
This is pretty funny. I don't know if someone's got a sense of humor there, but wow.
Jimmy likes surprises.
Is this going to be included with every RS?
Let's start pulling off these pieces of foam. It's in really good condition. This locks into place.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what I think of it.
It's different.
Here is the display. These are Zoom hydraulic brake levers, but I've never seen this on where they have the visible hydraulic fluids. Man, that's heavy duty foam. Feel this. Normally it's pretty light, but this thing is heavy duty. What is inside of this box? We've got a tire hugger. 5 amp charger. The scooter is a 72 volt, 40 amp hour battery, so it's 2,880 watt hours. This should charge it in 8 hours from empty to full. Oh, nice. They've got these really nice tools in here. Oh, and we got a light that looks very similar to the Nami or the Surons.
These little connectors here, and it looks like they're color coded. All right, so far so good. The only critique I would have is these instructions are nice, but they're a little small, especially for aging eyes.
That is a good looking tire hugger.
Little cutouts for speakers.
Yep, that's the horn. Pretty loud.
Those things are bright. You're not missing that. It's a Dualtron-esque. Boom. Connecting. Oh, that was easy. Good job, INMOTION. You guys do a good job with your app. Look at that, brand spanking new, 0 miles, and so far the max speed has been 0.2 kilometers an hour.
We'll change that. Speeds of up to 68 miles per hour or 110 kilometers. You can do front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, and all wheel drive, which is pretty sweet. A lot of these scooters let you do rear wheel drive or dual motors. And when you're in rain, you really would like front wheel drive just because it prevents you from sliding out. Some other things that I've seen that you can do is adjust the power delivery to each motor. So that's pretty cool. Acceleration force, it's at 50%. Yeah, right. Let's do that. So that's awesome.
Now that we've got it all set up, let's do a walkthrough from top to bottom.
Starting with the right side, we have a twist throttle. It's a half twist throttle. You have turn signals and a Zoom hydraulic brake lever that we've never seen before. You can see the hydraulic fluid levels. And then this control module is interesting. We haven't seen this before on a scooter, but we have seen this a lot on the Venton e-bikes. And then the bottom button is a horn, which is ultra loud. And this is what's really cool about this scooter. You can adjust the handlebar height. So you can bring it down for people who are shorter riders, or you can raise it up for tall riders. And then you have the folding mechanism, which is interesting. We've never seen this before. You have to twist this to undo it, and this pops off. Really easy to drop down. And then to bring it up, I'll show you, it's very simple. This locks into place, and then you just twist this down. So Not super portable, not super fast.
What's not fast about it?
Well, it actually is pretty fast.
I feel like this is pretty fast compared to some of the other super scooters with the multiple clamps that you have to undo and screw and tighten. I think this is probably one of the fastest folding, unfolding, locking mechanisms that we've seen in a super scooter.
And then you have a quick disconnect. Here, let me turn off this light. Oh, right.
I'm gonna be deaf before this video is over.
Right here you have a quick disconnect for the motor cable. So if you ever need to do a tire change, it shouldn't be too difficult. Adjustable suspension, which is really sweet. Zoom hydraulic brakes with a 160 millimeter brake disc. And this brake disc is really thick. A lot of these brake discs can be pretty thin. I like that they use a thicker one for better stopping power. 11 by 4 inch street tire. And this is a 2000 watt motor with a max output of 4200 watts. And then one really cool thing about this scooter is that you can adjust the height of the deck. So you can lower it and raise it up. On the top form, it says it's the off-road mode, and the second from highest, SUV form, sedan form, and then on the bottom is the race car form. So they've kind of gone with the car theme, and I was wondering why they gave us two tools of the same size, but it makes sense because it's for adjusting the height. Depending on what type of terrain you're gonna be riding on, if you're trying to ride this fast on streets all the time, you want it lower. And if you're gonna be riding it on off-road paths with single tracks, you wanna raise it up so it has more clearance. So these are different charge ports than we've ever seen on a scooter. They're really small. Inside of this deck is a massive 72 volt, 40 amp hour battery, so 2880 watt hours. And there's a smart BMS in here, which I love about INMOTION. They use smart BMSs so you can track every voltage of each battery cell just for safety. One other neat feature about the battery is its IPX7 water resistance rating, and the whole scooter itself is an IPX6 water resistance rating. Moving behind the deck, you have this kick plate, then you have the brake light, and also the rear light built into the kick plate. On this side, you have a quick disconnect for the motor for easier tire changes. Another adjustable suspension. In the rear, we have a tire hugger with a fender, 11 by 4 inch tire with a 2000 watt motor with a peak output of 4200 watts, Zoom hydraulic brake caliper, and the 106 millimeter brake disc. Holy cow! Look at this snake! Jimmy had his back turned to it, and I was shocked when I saw how big the snake was. It's crazy.
All right, well, the snake got away. We tried to capture it, but it slithered on into the bushes. This, however, we are going to get it charged up so we can have a freshly charged battery before our test ride. What's up, guys? We have the freshly charged INMOTION RS. Woo! You're cooking.
This thing feels awesome. Really smooth acceleration and fast.
And so I always wonder, what does RS stand for? The INMOTION RS, is it really smooth, really speedy? What does that RS mean? Let us know in the comments below if you know. We're cruising around town. We're cruising around here in the park. I don't know if you saw the sign back there, but it said no east side access. And that's because we've had a lot of rain recently and there was some flooding that washed away that freshly paved road that we like to ride on. We haven't seen it yet, so let's go right over there and check it out. Holy cow. Oh my gosh, I saw my life flash before my eyes. I was playing around with the GoPro, not watching the road, and the camera never shows it, but that is a deep pothole. I don't know, that's like 5-6 inches deep. No problem. That is a cardinal mistake on my part. Eyes always on the road, head on a swivel. The suspension on this though, I love watching it as you were riding over by the water, going over those bumps, it was just soaking it right up. Yeah, look at these potholes. This is wild, everywhere. Holy cow. That was exciting and fun. Who knows what else we'll see on this adventure. Let's do a high-speed test run right now.
Yeah, there's a little water on the edge of the scooter, but nothing on me.
The fender did a great job. I got wet, the camera got wet, Andrew stayed dry.
And that's pretty good because Jimmy was pretty far from me, so it spread it out far and not on me. I thought there was something wrong with the suspension, like creaking or cranking, but it's just that piece of plastic hitting the steering pole.
All right, so we are here at our speed test location. Before we do the speed run though, this scooter has a cool feature.
So there's 4 different height levels, but we're gonna lower it all the way to the bottom.
These are the tools that you need and that came with the scooter so you can adjust the suspension.
So yeah, there's 4 placeholders, and then we're gonna try to drop it as low as possible. So it's just second from the lowest right now.
One eternity later.
We thought it was going to be pretty simple to just take out the bolts, change the height just on the fly, but that hasn't been the case. It's been really difficult to get the bolts out, and so we're not gonna mess with it too much out here just because all we have are these tools, and it seems like we may need some more tools to do this. So we're just gonna do the speed run at this level. We got the Chesty satellite
Test dummy.
Let's do it. Holy shnikes, he was going fast. That was incredible. How'd it feel?
Man, it was awesome. And the display, pretty accurate. It said it was 61 miles per hour is what I saw. And on the Draggy, it says the max speed was 62 miles per hour. The 0 to 10 miles per hour was 1.34 seconds, which is stellar. 0 to 20 miles per hour in 2.42 seconds. 0 to 30 miles per hour in 4.13 seconds. 0 to 40 miles per hour in 6.48 seconds. And the 0 to 50 was 10.19 seconds. To hit the 60 mile per hour, it was 18.58 seconds. I did actually only have it at 50% power, so let's adjust that speed and see what's going on.
And just to be clear, this was just at 50% power according to the app.
Yeah, and so we'll see what's going on when we turn it to 100.
Speed run test number 2, set at 100% power. 29, 34, 39. Holy cow. Man. Oh, what happened there?
I just accidentally twisted the throttle. But it looks like the scooter did pretty well. Got a little scratch on there, but
not too bad.
Not too bad. Gotta be careful. Okay, now we got on a park mode, which I should have put it in before I let go of the handlebars. When you go to twist it, it won't move. Let's talk about turning it up to 100% power. So let's see what we got. 0 to 10 miles per hour in 1.42 seconds. 0 to 20 miles per hour in 2.57 seconds. 0 to 30 in 4.16 seconds. 0 to 40 in 6.27 seconds, 0 to 50 in 10.24 seconds, and 0 to 60 in 18.92 seconds. Yeah, I don't think I really felt a big difference in acceleration when I boosted it all the way up to 100.
50% power, 100% power, we just don't see much of a difference as far as the unit that we have goes. Maybe as they adjust the app and they adjust the scooter for production, you'll see a change there. This is a big one, kids. When you're on a super scooter, and you're done riding, make sure to either turn it off or put it in park. Otherwise, they'll have what Andrew just did.
Yeah, if you look at this, it was able to dig into the asphalt and just take out pieces of it, and that would be terrible if it was a kid's leg.
Find a shady spot so we can talk about the things that we love about this scooter. All right, so we hit a max speed of 62 miles an hour. Advertised speed on this is 68 miles an hour. And while you guys are probably asking, why would anyone ever need to go that fast on a scooter? It's not that you need to go that fast, but just knowing that you can go that fast. That being said, we didn't quite hit the advertised max speed.
I am pretty heavy right now. I'm at 210 pounds. So if you're 160, 170, you probably would hit the top max speed.
One of the other nice things too is there's this audible feedback when he's pushing on the buttons, which is really nice because when you're traveling and you're going fast, you often don't have the luxury to be staring down at a screen that oftentimes is hard to read because of glare from the sun. So it's nice that you have that audible feedback to let you know. So they've closed off this section of road. We're gonna go check it out. While we're riding, let's talk about the things that we love about the scooter. The ride quality is superb. I mean, the acceleration, super smooth, super solid. Going off jumps, going off drops, you can see the suspension just soaking it up.
The acceleration is very powerful and it's very silent. A lot of these high-powered scooters, they have a very high-pitched whine. This thing is pretty quiet. I love the adjustable suspension. These brakes work very well. I'm normally not a big fan of Zoom hydraulic brakes, but these brake levers just take it to a next level.
Part of the handling, I think, also is having the dual steering poles or the dual forks. You see that with the Cabo scooters. A lot of people are a big fan of those dual forks for added stability and rigidity, and I think that adds the whole stability of the design.
And this one is very nimble. I'm able to take very deep carves and feel stable and like I'm not going to slide out at all.
This scooter is very silent compared to the other scooters. Compared to at least the Dualtron, some of the other Dualtron scooters, it's very smooth.
Turn signals are ultra bright. I love that they put a smart BMS in the scooter. Everything should have a smart BMS so you can monitor it for fire safety. Overall aesthetics of the scooter is gorgeous. Ease of this functionality. I can do a lot of things with my thumbs without having to ever move my hands or look down. It's all pretty intuitive.
I do love the tire huggers, riding closely behind them, filming. Some of the other scooters kick up a lot of debris, a lot of little rocks. Not so with this.
Yeah, and the twist throttle is really easy to modulate. I'm able to maintain a low speed without it feeling jerky at all. The loud horn, so it's really loud. I keep accidentally hitting it when Jimmy's face is in front of it, so I do feel bad. But the nice thing is cars are gonna hear you on the road.
What was that? What did you say? Yeah, no, I think I've lost some of my hearing because that horn is loud.
And I do love that there's an app for it. The app can be painful to log on to, but once you get logged on, it's super smooth and looks really crisp.
All right, and it looks like we've made it to near the damage.
Yeah, let's see what this hole looks like.
It's a shame because this section is one of our favorite places to ride. The water and the flooding washed away this section of the road, so we're not going to be able to ride past this.
Washed away, whoa. One neat feature about this scooter is that it allows you to go into park just by pressing the power button, which I should have done earlier.
And now that we're stopped, the other thing that I really like about this that I think more scooters need to do, the charge ports are in a nice protected location and it has a nice flip cover that's always going to keep it covered when you're not using it.
Auto flips. One last thing is the packaging job was excellent on the scooter.
Let's talk about the things that we don't like about this scooter.
The headlight on the front, it's really bright, but it's too focused. It needs to have a wider throw. The turn signals in the rear, they're pretty bright, but they're blocked by cables and the swing arms.
The kick plate is very nice that has this light built in the back, but when you're going to pick up this heavy scooter, and it is a heavy scooter, you're putting your hand back here onto that light, the plastic of that light. I feel like over time, that could be a weak point that breaks. It's held up fine for us here, but I just don't like grabbing onto that plastic light when I'm going to pick up this scooter.
And the kickstand is weak. I've had it almost fall on me a few times. I would have liked it to be a lot beefier.
If I were to say that this scooter had an Achilles heel, it's probably that kickstand. The kickstand is so puny, and for a scooter where you can adjust the height, that kickstand also needs to be able to adjust with the height of the scooter. Having the adjustable height is a really cool option that we've never really seen in any of these other power scooters before. But the execution, I think, needs a little bit of refinement. Taking those bolts out, it's not really easy. And we tried using the two provided tools and we couldn't quite get it on the fly. We'll take it back to the garage and we'll play around with it to see how we can get this done. Really great idea. Execution needs some improvement.
Fold it, it's pretty simple. It's really quick. But I wish this metal was just a little bit thicker. Going 60 miles per hour, I want this to be the strongest part of the scooter. This piece of metal is a little bit too thin for my liking. I wish it was more robust at this end. This side looks great, but this I feel just needs to be a little bit thicker.
All right, now it's my turn to give this scooter a go. Man, it doesn't take long to get on the scooter and know that this thing is premium. The acceleration is so smooth yet so powerful. Not that jerky torquiness that you get with some of those super scooters. This thing is smooth. I think one of the first things I would do though, if I were to customize this for myself, is I would lower these handlebars. I would lower that steering pole, and it is adjustable, which is super nice. You don't have that option in a lot of these super scooters. Lean into it and go. Here I go. Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo! Man, this thing is amazing. Man, the acceleration, it's just like this rush of adrenaline, yet still having that safety and comfort, knowing that you've got handlebars to hold on to, but being able to stand up and accelerate that fast, it's exhilarating. The other thing I've noticed is the throttle is pretty darn good. It reminds me a lot of the Segway GT2, which we reviewed. Very precise, pretty darn responsive. And the fact that I can pin it down here and I'm going like 5 miles an hour. Andrew's having a hard time trying to keep this pace on the electric unicycle, but I can just pin it down here. I'm going 4 or 5 miles an hour, no problems with this throttle. It's super sensitive. The steering pole feels nice and solid. When we first started reviewing super scooters several years ago, that was a common problem. Just too much play in your steering pole. And this, it feels nice and solid. It gives me the stability and the confidence that I need when and if I should try to go 60+ miles an hour. Okay, we are going to take it off-road a little bit. Like we said, we've had a lot of rain recently, so we're kind of limited to the type of off-roading we can do. But this trail here is pretty dry, and Andrew's going to show us what we need to do in preparation to do it on, take it out on some light off-roading.
Suspension is adjustable. I've had it on a slow rebound because I've been going really fast, and now I'm just going to turn it to the right to have a faster rebound.
And so now we've got it set up, the suspension. The height we're not really going to change. This is a decent height for doing everything, roads, light off-roading. But if we were going to take it on some serious off-roading, we would want to raise that height so we'd have more clearance. To be fair, these are street tires. These are not off-roading tires.
Yeah, it seemed like it had enough power to get up that hill. It just didn't have the traction. The suspension is nice and fast, so all the bumps, it just soaked it up and really was excellent. I wish it did have off-road tires though.
Whew, that was exhilarating. It just seemed like overnight, this whole place just exploded with vegetation. Coming out of the winter, it was just brown and dry, but with all the rain and with the warmer weather, it is just exploding with life. And it's so fun, but it also makes these trails a little bit harder to navigate. The single track trails, really fun. Hope you could hear the fenders doing their jobs.
Did you get pelted at all when I did that burnout?
I had my eyes closed and my head turned, expecting this shower of rocks, but no, it did a good job.
Yeah, that tire hugger with the fender design is really primo.
So one of the other things is a lot of times these super scooters, these monster scooters, they have steering dampers that limit your turn radius and your ability to turn and carve. This, no steering damper, no external steering damper, and so you're able to make deep carves. It's very nimble. A lot of times we say if you're going to go fast on a scooter, you should probably have a steering damper to help you from overcorrecting, to help you stay stable and straight. We've talked to high-end scooter designers, and something that was shared to us, steering damper is actually something you put on to hide the weaknesses in the scooter design. And if you were to design a scooter that with great geometry, then you shouldn't have to need a steering damper.
Just a good example is this scooter has no steering damper. The Nami comes with the steering damper. I would prefer this scooter at high speeds.
The Nami, great scooter, but this without the steering damper is still more stable than the Nami with a steering damper. Oh, it just splashed me. I am all wet. Tell us about the water resistance.
IPX6 water resistance rating, and the battery's an IPX7, so that should be no issues at all.
Keep my distance. Woohoo! Andrew, who do you think should get this scooter?
If you're looking for a refined, high-powered scooter that just gives you the wheelies, this scooter's for you.
It is a blast, I promise you. Check out this INMOTION RS. All right, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any other questions, check out our full written review at gotscooter.com. And remember, when you guys ride, wear your safety gear.